What is going on, guys? It is Lely 206 here, and this is episode 7 of Keep Your Enemies Closer. I've decided to keep this series going on, but unfortunately my capture card and laptop have had a bit of a bad relationship recently, so progress has been missed. That's also why I haven't been able to upload recently, but you can see here that I've signed Ardo Turam. What you can't see is I've also got Phil Jones sitting on the reserves. So we're going into the first piece of action in this match as I try to play my way forward, but he wins the ball, and without a second thought he just does what most newbie online, well, Master League Online players do. He spams one forward, he gets one-on-one with Demba Ba, and luckily for him it bounces off the keeper straight back into his path and he makes it 1-0. But don't worry guys, the special ones here, I'm not going to be intimidated by newbie players like that. So from the kickoff I give the ball out to Belhanda, I stretch the pitch out, play it back into Morales, who cuts it back onto his left foot, then back onto his right, curls it around the defender and makes it 1-1. Now the moment of the game which turns it horribly in my favour, and I absolutely hate it when it happens. Whether it happens for me or against me, I still hate it because it just ruins what's a perfectly good game. I tried to pass the ball forward to Defoe, he positions his defender in the right place, but somehow manages to go straight through his legs. That's why I hate it, because the guy actually playing does nothing wrong. So he tries to recover the ball and then he ends up giving a red card for a pretty normal challenge, to be honest. Alright, it's from behind, but you'll see a lot worse get away with a yellow card. And then that was a free kick that cannon off the post was about 10 minutes later. So now here he tries to play one forward, but I go on a nice little counter attack, and when I play the ball out wide to Patabanov, he takes out the first, so I kind of have to wait a bit extra to play it back to him, but I eventually get it back to him. He has a great effort and goal, hits the bar, and then Belhanda finishes the job and makes it 2-1. Now here I get the ball to Defoe, who plays it out to Belhanda, straight back to him over the top, and Defoe here just felt like Drogba, so quick, so strong, and then a great finish makes it 3-1. And then right towards the end of the half he just thinks that's it, the game's this half's over, just blast it out. But my friend, was he wrong? He ends up giving it straight to Defoe, and Defoe, I told you, he felt like Drogba at his peak in this match. Felt like anything that I was going to do with him was going to go in, and as you can see I had the extra man, I made it count quite heavily in this match. So I was 4-1 up at half time, and then here I knew he brought on Hulk, and when he played this pass I knew to stay goal side, but for some reason Ramos got sucked in and he was out of my control as well, so there's not much I could do, and I knew the overrated Hulk wasn't going to miss from there. Now here he hadn't plugged up that gap in defence, and Defoe got one-on-one, and you know what happens this match. And then right at the end Suarez goes for a nice little finish, but keeper makes a great save, and then he tries to clear, and Defoe, I don't know, he's just turned into a great defender in this match as well, as he blocked that clearance, and then Morales made it 6-2. So I deserved that win, and alright, I probably would have got that win anyway regardless. So going into the second match of this episode, and when I saw this guy start 11, I thought this is going to be a good match to play, it's going to be a good match to watch. I was actually looking forward to this match, but then that joy was short lived, as my goalkeeper does what he does in every big match, and he makes a howler, and he almost gifts them the game, as he makes a howler there and drops the ball straight to the striker's feet, and he makes it 1-0. Now here I win the header with Coates, and then as I tried to power up this pass with Phil Jones, it decides to just not let me power it up, and he plays it into empty space, and he plays it down the line, and for some reason Coates gets muscled when he's clearly a much stronger player than him, but then he plays it to Nasri, and then Nasri smashes it into the far corner and makes it 2-0. Now here I thought as my luck was actually starting to change, as I get a nice little ricochet, forwards to Defoe, gets one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but then he gets taken out, and then this is why I showed the red card of the other match, because look, that goalkeeper's still in net, he's denied a much clearer goal scoring opportunity, last man and all, and he only gets a yellow card. So he makes a great save and tips behind for a corner, but then Nasri gets him plenty of space in the box and makes it 3-0 in 25 minutes. So now some great work here from Phil Jones as he wins the challenge and then makes a block, and it falls to Ardo Turan, who gets a lucky through ball through to Van der Voors with the aid of a bit of a nice ricochet. Then he finds Defoe, who has a simple task of making it 3-1, and it ends 3-1 at half time. A very harsh scoreline because I hadn't really done much wrong in this half, but then that gave me a bit of belief, thinking he hadn't really done much great things, so there's nothing saying that I can't actually outscore him. So we're going to the start of the second half, and a nice little play between Defoe and Belhanda, as you're about to find out now that Defoe doesn't have his shooting boots on, as he hits it straight at the goalkeeper then, and then this time hits it wide. And then here you can see that I actually read this pass with ever a long time before it happened, but he somehow manages to ignore it, but then from here he somehow manages to miss when it's a lot easier to score. So that was like a little blessing in disguise, thinking I can actually still get something from this game. So Neymar rises the challenge, and he actually jumps when I don't think he needs to, but then he gets bullied off, and he gives it straight to Van der Voors. Van der Voors plays it to Aguero, great little turn, and he pops it into the far corner and makes it 3-2. Now this is why I said, you know, PES is like really bad and inconsistent, and it's why I felt really bad for the last match, because just look at this challenge. That is more of a red card challenge than the one from the previous match, and look at this. Yes, the yellow card, absolutely stupid. but then it ends 3-2, and to be honest, it wasn't a match I deserved to lose, but it swings and roundabouts. You don't always win the matches you deserve to win, and you don't always lose the ones you deserve to lose. So now we're going into the third match of this episode, and when I saw this guy's team sheet, I just knew this guy's going to be looking to bully me off the park, because he just had a bunch of athletes all over the pitch. I knew he wasn't going to be able to pass me off the park, and to be honest, he actually did a really good job in the first half at keeping me quiet, because I just wasn't used to playing against such a style. And although I had a really good chance here with Suarez, that was like the only chance I really had, but with that style he wasn't really creating anything himself. As you can see, the half-time stats will tell you that as well. But then in the second half I became like much more adaptive to the situation I was in, because I knew I just had to up my tempo a bit more, and that's exactly what I did in the start of the second half. As Suarez gets played through by Morales, and a great save, but it only falls to Petrov as he taps into an empty net and makes it 1-0. Now here I get a bit of luck as it finds Morales, but then he finds Suarez in plenty of space but at a tight angle, but that doesn't go with Suarez as he finds the far corner and makes it 2-0. But then here's something stupid that happens to me here, as Ivanovic just ignores the ball and lets Sissoko have the ball, and then there's nothing lucky about this finish as Rooney smashes it into the far corner and makes it 2-1. But then that's just a little blip in this match as I get the ball to Arda Turan, who gives it to Petrov, who shows a bit of great feet here as he gives it to Ivanovic. Ivanovic drills it across the box, and the defender turns it into the back of his own net and makes it 3-1. So now here I get the ball with Aguero, who gives it to his best friend Joey Barton. Then Aguero, unchecked, just runs forward, and Barton thought that's an easy pass, but then he does a stupid thing and gives himself a red card. From there Aguero puts it into the back of the net and then makes it 4-1. Then his parry shot goes straight into the path of Luis Suarez and he makes it 5-1. Then right at the end of the match I just thought, okay, there's nothing to lose here, so I'll try to take the goalkeeper on. I take him on and just see how he reacts, but it makes no difference. It makes no difference if I run around him. That's just how bad the goalkeepers are in this game. He makes no effort to actually stop the goal either, so it ends 6-1. You couldn't see that result coming at half time, but I just flicked that switch and made it 6-1. So it ends with a nice beating, and I end the episode on just say under 25 million. So I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.